Bionicle Commentary Central where the stooges fumble along.
Today is Friday, August 12th, 2016, and you're listening to episode 63 of the Bionicle Commentary Central podcast. I'm Ford, and here with me today is Klenda, who I have not seen in a while. How are you?
I'm doing alright. I'm really looking forward to having things settle down more because this summer has been crazy for me, hence my
It
not
has
showing
been
up
really
basically
crazy.
all the time.
It's had its ups, it's had its downs.
It's had
Bionicle
its
ending being
sideways
one of
and
those downs.
Pretty much.
Do you agree, Mace, who is also here?
Yes, I do. Poor Bionicle. But there were some good things this summer, as you say.
Very true.
But Bionicle,
There were good
no,
times,
come
bad
back.
times, wonderful times.
R.I.P. in pieces.
Well, yeah, it's over. Oh well.
But hopefully
Is it
someone
ever
from the
really
BCC
over?
can win an art book.
Yes. Someone.
And then it continues on for just a teensy bit more if we can win that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've heard that, or I've rather read that, even if you don't win the art book, scans of the book are going to be put up on
Oh, that's
BSO1. So, apparently the whole art book is
That's
just
definitely
going
going to be my desktop background.
You're just not going to have the entire thing. So,
That's pretty awesome, and I really
I
want
just-
one though I'm not
I
able
think
to
it
walk.
stinks that there's only going to be printed, 100 printed. And they're not releasing it any other way. Not even digital.
Yeah.
I'd love to have it
They're
digital.
only giving out 4 in the contest.
Yeah.
Really?
3 of them signed.
Only 4.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's going to happen to the other 96? Are they just going to hold on to them, or
They gave them away
what's
to
gonna
fan
happen?
sites.
Oh,
They
okay.
gave them to fan sites,
Oh.
yeah. BSO1's doing something right now on Facebook and I think Twitter where they're going to give one away at the end of the month.
Interesting.
The month is currently August, so if you're listening to this in September, then you're out of luck, I guess. Unless you won it somehow.
And late. You're very late.
Yes, you're late. That's the point. So yeah. No art book
No more.
being released.
Yeah, but speaking of... No, wait, we're not doing speaking of anymore. Darn it.
Well, on the topic of art, though, we were given some art, not of Bionicle, but of Hero Factory the other day.
Surprisingly enough. And
Surprisingly interesting, to say the least.
yes, it was given to us by the one and only Chris Faber himself.
He's so cool.
He is so awesome.
Yeah, he is.
So apparently Hero Factory, like, when it was just coming up, it had heavy influences of The Incredibles.
Which is evident in the poster that he drew, which I'm going to
Yes.
put in the podcast if you're watching this.
Yes, please. But I was surprised. Like, The Incredibles doesn't really strike me as a good, like, as a real influence on Hero Factory in the way it was. But I
No.
guess it was just the style.
And is it really the
Right?
best influence
Maybe.
for Robo Space Cops?
I mean, it was a
Yes.
good movie, but space it doesn't strike me as Space Cops. How about you?
No. Especially robot Space Cops. Made in a factory.
The problem is, as soon as you say that,
I mean,
think Manborg, so I'm stuck.
Man, jeez.
Weren't the Robo
Watch
Space
it.
Cops in Incredibles the bad guys anyway? The robot police bot circle thingies. They were the bad guys, not the good guys.
Well, we also have Nindroids. Lego's really good at making robots.
That's true.
It does
Or at
seem
least
to
it-
be
Yeah, and
that
they've got a
way.
robot thing.
Yeah.
And Bionicle
The
was
only
often
reason they
mistaken
started
for
making
robots,
Star Wars.
So.
So, yeah. So you're saying, like, pretty much stuff that we kind of already knew in the blog post, which he did delete because it was getting close to, I want to say NDA kind of stuff?
Yeah, though he was talking about what they were going to do in the future if it hadn't been canceled, and some of that stuff was just really fascinating to me. And
yeah. And
honestly,
I
there was
think
a lot of
and what
stuff
they
that
originally
I had known,
planned
I just
for it to
hadn't
be.
put it together in my head.
I thought it was interesting that he echoed the same points as Greg Farshy did about it. Where and I kind of had the same thought before as well, before Greg Farshy came out with it. How weird do you think it would be for a business called the Hero Factory to make law enforcement and to essentially make your government and run your government? Don't you think that'd be scary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a little bit like, has anyone here read The Giver?
I have.
Not the movie, but, well...
I have not.
The movie is terrible. But that's beside the point.
Read the book, don't watch the movie. Though...
It gives up everything in just the trailers. It's not a good movie.
Yeah. Though, anyway, it's sort of the thing where it seems like a great idea, and then if you actually think about what that entails, then it's quite terrifying.
Yeah.
And if you think about it to a depth where it's just below the surface and it's almost subliminal, you can get some kind of creepy stuff.
Yeah, I can see where you're like getting The Giver from with this.
Yeah.
And in
I don't want to
Hero
spoil
Factory,
it for people, so I'm being as vague about that as possible.
Yeah. Because
it's
a
not
lot
as
of that
if
book
the
has to do with that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
it's not as if the heroes were infallible, as demonstrated in Von Nebula and Core Hunter, for example. So you can't just say that there's no way this could ever go wrong. There's proof that it could.
But it's not just that it can't go wrong with just individuals, but what if they just decided to flick a switch and say, kill everybody?
Yeah, or basically that thing. Actually, that sort of ties into something I wanted to talk about earlier.
Oh.
Okay, so I had a quote argument, end quote, with my brother, and he loves debating.
Oh boy.
And he set up this thing where I was vouching for Kopaka Nuva, and he was vouching for Stormer XL. And we had them in a who would win scenario. And it was actually quite fascinating, and he successfully made me look at Hero Factory in a slightly more generous light, because, like most people, I was slightly biased against it. But honestly, it made me like, oh, this is actually quite astonishing. And I saw that Stormer has an incredible amount of depth in his character, and has a level of strength in him that is actually quite unbelievable. He can literally go against his own programming. His will is that strong. So I'm thinking, if they were planning to do something, if they had been planning, rather, to do something like have Zib be evil, which is a fairly common conspiracy in my household.
True.
Then,
that would make sense.
Then...
And that's
Stormer
another
might
interesting
resist
point
that.
of the whole quasar thing that they had powering them. That was where the mind, basically the soul of the hero came from. But normal Hero Factory robots aren't made with that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, what
programmed.
is quasar? Were they going to go somewhere with what quasar is? I mean, we knew that it was said to be some sort of rock, but
we also know that it's from
on
whatever the planet was that Savage Planet took
Quattros.
place on. That's it.
Quattros.
Yeah. We also know it came from there, and that you're not allowed to take any from there because it has some special properties. What are those properties, though?
Yeah,
other
where
than
did it
being
come
able
from?
to give life?
Yeah,
if
it's a life-giving rock, it has to have come from somewhere special.
Considering that on that planet alone, even its removal caused the planet to start just crumbling,
dying,
to die.
Yeah, it lost some of that life energy. So it has to be some sort of rock that radiates life energy.
And people always looked at Hero Factory the wrong way. They always thought it was just
Unfortunately, I'm one of those people.
happy, cheery, kid story.
Kids,
no, there's some dark undertones.
There were some very dark undertones in
especially
that I totally missed the first time, though.
In the point that Christian Faber really brings up in his blog post before, to get back to that, Invasion from Below is very dark. If you think about it. Like, it might not be the best thing, but apparently it was the most watched thing in 2014 on LEGO. On the LEGO site.
Actually, I just realized something just now. Hero Factory is being my second Bionicle right now, because in the original Bionicle I totally missed it. Or almost completely missed it, and I only discovered the story and lore and stuff like that afterward. And with Hero Factory right now, I saw the episodes and stuff, and heck, even wrote a 60-some page fanfiction on it.
Really?
That later evolved into its own novel about Hero Factory.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
I hope to get it published at some point with my brother. They just won't allow underage authors in Scholastic, which is where I'm trying to get it published.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and figure out something with that. But anyway, I know I was going somewhere with that.
Potential spoilers for Invasion from Below, I guess. But they just kind of kill every monster on this planet.
That's
just
incredibly
commit
dark.
Genocide. And
how did the monsters get down there? How does this advanced spacefaring race of robots not know there's a million kaiju under their feet?
Exactly.
That's an excellent
I'm sure
point.
the people knew. The people who set up the original Hero Factory,
And
they
apparently,
probably knew.
there was it was part of an ancient civilization. Like, they were intelligent beings, and they all died. Due to a few blaster shots. Because some idiot monster was all like, hey, I'm gonna touch this thing. Oh no, it's shot! Bye, Queen!
And how did he pull the trigger just by touching it?
Poke it in just the
I know how. He saw the money
heroes
going
have
away
no
from the budget.
safeties on their guns?
Just
He
like
clicks the big
veterans.
red button right there.
He saw some money, like, in the distance, just kind of, like, disappearing, because that's what happened to the budget of the show, from what Christian Faber says.
He
like,
shot back at the people
they didn't
taking the
have
money, but it didn't
as
work.
big of a budget as they wanted on...
You could tell.
that.
I mean, just look at Brain Attack, Breakout, all of them, compared to Invasion.
Yeah, they had to switch out all the old voice actors, which for some reason cracked me up when I was younger.
Like, they wanted...
It still cracks me up.
They wanted to do the same thing as they had done before with Invasion from Below. Like, they wanted to get the same voice actors. And this might be treading on some unusually unsafe ground, but they didn't have enough money to hire those voice actors. The budget was that low.
Okay, you know what? I'm very sad that they changed. This is my one of my biggest grudges against Hero Factory. In 2.0, they introduced, I don't remember if it was Evo or Nex, but the one who spoke in a Japanese accent.
Okay, that was Evo.
Evo.
Okay. And in the next one, then he was entirely different.
Yeah.
He did not have any of the Japanese influence that made him one of my favorite characters. And I was like,
and then
he was just a dumb rookie with a great cannon strapped to his arm.
And then Nex and
Who
Stringer
had to learn how to
just-
believe in himself.
Nex and Stringer just disappear. Like, they're just gone.
Stringer was off on another mission somewhere. Maybe he was mining and figuring out what was going on.
Hang on. Maybe he was with Lucas Valor.
Oh, no, not that.
Boom!
Too spooky for me.
Lucas Valor, he doesn't need handcuffs to restrain villains. He just needs to show his face.
Yep.
And by face,
Where
I
we're
mean
going,
stomach.
we
Because
don't
his
need
face
His
is
second
a stomach.
His head
Yes,
stomach.
His face is a second stomach.
When you say head stomach, I immediately think Epolum.
Oh my god.
Oh, now I'm thinking Lucas Valor
Oh.
versus Epolum.
You know, I wish Greg would
my
have been able to
goodness.
finish the books.
Okay, now Ford, you need to do this. If I ever meet you in real life, then I'm going to make
It's a
mock
shame I don't
of
have the parts
Valor.
to build Lucas
And I-
Valor.
No, I would totally buy you the pieces. I would totally buy you the pieces and mail them to you if you did that.
Oh, Evelyn would win.
I know, I would pay money to see it though.
The viewers have no idea what we're talking about.
I'll put in a few pictures.
No. Look up Lucas Valor. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I think we talked about.
Well,
him
you will be
before.
disappointed because your eyes will hurt.
We talked about him before.
We did talk about him before, but I think we talked about him
I don't know if we actually
off camera.
recorded that.
No, we didn't.
The point is, Lucas Valor is a scary person. Don't build him.
He is. Imagine meeting that guy. Especially in a world where everyone is a humanoid. Except Jawblade, but that's not the point.
Jeez.
I just googled it and I'm
thing.
not able to find a single picture of it.
That's another thing. To get off of the whole scary Lucas Valor thing, Hero Factory's villains are really cool. Just, like, concept-wise, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We never had a
Hunter.
Transylvanian villain in Bionicle, I'm just saying.
We never had a... What kind of
A Transylvanian villain.
Transylvanian?
Oh, Transylvanian, okay.
Black Phantom had a Transylvanian accent, and
Black
that was my
Phantom,
favorite thing about the
Very
character.
true. He also had fangs.
He also had
He was
fangs.
also
yes,
played
it was
by Mark
very
Hamill.
deliberately vampire.
That is also true. He was played by Mark Hamill. I also want to say, I take back what I said about Black Phantom. He is not the worst set ever.
He's 2.0 is.
He's just
Actually,
not one of the best.
He's really not one of the best, but he's not the worst.
He's not as bad as he could have been, but also he's not as good as he could have been.
I'm gonna put it back to Finn. He's terrible.
That was a bad set. That was a bad set. It's not very well made at all.
I can't believe that Finn is gonna be one of the last Constraction sets, most likely for the foreseeable future. I can't believe they would end it on such a terrible note.
Kinda sad.
They are having at least one from Rogue One. That robot guy, whoever he is.
No.
That ripoff of the
Okay,
HK robots.
real quick.
I mean, what?
Can we just talk about those real quick? The Constraction figures for Rogue One.
Sure.
Yes.
Just like the movie, they all look boring to me.
I've only seen Robo Dude, and he looks okay.
I heard that a new Rogue One trailer came out today. I haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen it either.
Yes, it has. I have seen it.
Oh.
Does it make the movie
It's
look
better than the first one.
It's better than the first one, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes it look a little more interesting.
Mm.
But, a lot of the problems people have, a lot of the fears people have, it does not set those to rest. It does not really do anything to.
For me,
It just shows some cool new
It
footage.
just
I'm
looks
probably gonna
so...
watch it at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it in theaters though.
Yeah, I think it might be the first Star Wars movie that I don't actively, willingly want to go see in the theater.
If it wasn't Star Wars, I wouldn't be going to see it, honestly, but I may go see it
looks
just
so
because it's Star Wars.
boring and dull. And I get that that's the design choice, like, with all the vehicles and such, but, like, there's no color at all in this movie.
It needs spice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they just took a,
It
like, they
needs
put a
some,
whole, like,
what's it?
tint overlay on this movie. On all the screens.
And
in
where
this
are
movie.
all the aliens?
It's like they just put a gray overlay, and they're like, oh, you thought this was a black and white movie? Well, there you go. It's black and white
gray
movie
and
now.
They're just trying to get a Star Wars black and white movie so that 10 years from now they can say, back in my day, Star Wars movies were in black and white.
Yep. It'll be the new thing.
That'll
Because,
happen.
retro is the new thing.
Black and white is the new Star Wars.
Yep.
But where are all the aliens? This is the Rebel Alliance.
Exactly.
No aliens
like,
in the
they
Empire.
had-
Okay,
that's
I
another
understand.
thing. Like,
Okay,
all
yeah,
these,
that's
all these
kind
old
of
aliens, like
ridiculous.
the Twi'leks and the Togruta and the Gamorreans, where are they? They're all gone.
And
Yeah,
Nien
you
Nunb,
can't have
whatever
a
his
Star Wars
species
movie
is.
where you're making all the characters.
Instead, they have some, like, furry little, like, thing with a mouth. And that's an alien.
And that's it. That's it. That's all.
That
like,
sounds
I
like
saw a
Mr.
picture
Ed,
of
like Cousin
this,
Ed.
like, it's a character in Rebels. It's like this giant fur ball that's not a Wookiee, by the
and
way.
it hadn't.
And it has, like, this huge mouth, and I couldn't even tell if there were eyes on it. I'm like...
And
more
it's
like
been
a
in neither
tribble?
trailer.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Neither
is it more
trailer.
like a tribble
It-
or
It's
like
a Tribble
like
and
a
an
tribble
Ewok
with-
put together.
It looks like a really
A gremlin.
ugly Tribble with limbs. How's that sound?
Ew. Oh.
Wow.
Sounds
You're so generous in
like
your descriptions,
Captain
okay.
Caveman.
A caveman. That's a good one. A really hairy
Yes.
caveman.
That sounds like a uncivilized Chewbacca.
That works too.
Chewbacca isn't uncivilized himself. He won't even know
He's
English.
civilized in
civilized.
comparison,
That's
evidently.
Okay. Chewbacca is
I
He
like
doesn't
Chewie.
tear people's
But
limbs
see,
off
that's the
unless
point.
he's asked to, or unless there's reason to.
Even A New Hope had aliens, and they didn't even have a budget.
Right? Like, they had so many aliens
Seriously.
in the cantina scene
Okay,
alone,
kind of
which
the
is why the
point-
cantina scene is the best scene in the entire movie, other than the Death Star blown
yeah,
up
the point
or something.
of Star Wars is that there are aliens in it. That's kind of
We have
enough
literally
humans.
They have, like,
point.
enough humans, they have enough
That it's in
aliens to work with, they
space,
just
and
choose
it's
not to work with
aliens
any of
and
those
stuff like
aliens
that,
for
and
some
it's just
stupid
casually
reason.
got them
And-
in there. And
Like
having
the
a
Rebel
Star
Alliance.
Wars movie where there aren't aliens just tossed in there.
I mean, they have aliens that are literally Satan, okay? They have
Yeah,
wolves,
yeah.
and, like, whatever that guy who got his
Those-
arm cut off, that guy...
And those Ithorian guys
Ithorians,
with the weird
they're
angular
perfect.
heads.
I
But
can think of several from the
Not a
comics, but I
single.
don't know
There's
the
only
names of.
one single alien is a member of the Rogue One
And it's
crew.
not even one of
That
the
is right.
aliens from the cantina.
Mhm,
Or
and only
any
one
that we've
robot
ever seen
too.
before.
That's just kind of sad.
It is.
There were so many species that we know were a part of the Rebel Alliance. Why doesn't a single one show up?
I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I mean it's inferior to an alien-ish cast.
Whoa! Okay. I think
Humans
we're
are not
getting
as good
a
as
little riled
aliens.
up about this.
Wow. Okay.
Humans aren't as good as aliens. Confirmed.
So
Aliens are cooler.
the Rogue One contraction sets might be the last contraction sets ever, as far as we know.
Quite possibly.
Which is a shame, because I just built the Journey to One Makuta.
Oh yeah.
And
How
I
did
just-
that turn out?
Added it to my shelf, and it is glorious.
How big is it?
It's huge.
It looks glorious.
Like, I
Okay,
took a
on a
power...
scale-
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
in
huge.
comparison to Umarak the Destroyer, which, by the way,
Um,
I recently got, and I
it's-
am astonished
it's like-
by the size.
It's an Umarak the Destroyer and a half.
Mm.
Yeah.
big.
He's huge.
I can't wait to build him one
I
day.
took apart the Makuta mock that I made for the contest, which, by the way, if you haven't entered it, you should. Every Bionicle
should.
fan must enter this contest.
I actually need to
Mhm.
do that.
It's your duty.
Yes, you must.
I'll just do it.
Just do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were talking about.
Point is,
The Makuta.
I took apart my Makuta, and he was like maybe a head or two taller than Umarak the Destroyer. I built this new one. It towers over Umarak the Destroyer. I will say that I didn't do everything exact like the instructions that Doric posted, or rather the
Aren't
not
those like the
instructions.
not instructions?
They're not instructions. They're
Obviously.
just kind of like he pieces it together, and it helps.
Mhm.
No sound at all.
Some of them are not so easy to follow. Some of them are easy to follow. It just depends on how you build and such. I
Yeah.
would like proper instructions because I know there's things that I didn't get quite right about it. But there are a lot of things that are really smart with the build. The torso is just awesome. Like, I built the torso and I was just speechless.
If you're speechless at something you were able to build, that's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't the fact that I was able to build it. It was just that the designers
It inspires
clearly gave
awe.
it their all.
I love it when they do that.
Like, this model is just one of 35 and more that go to show that the designers gave it their all and that they cared deeply for this product. And that should shut up everybody who says that they didn't care. Because this Makuta
Even-
model is so good. Like the torso, like it has a robe or skirt kind of section, and it just goes all the way around. Somehow they got that to work. And,
that's pretty impressive for something that massive.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
The arms are pretty decent. I like the left arm. It has a rubber band, like Wolverine knives kind of function with the two like hook skull.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I first used a red rubber band, which was slightly longer than the white rubber band that comes with Loss, which is required to build the set. Loss. And the white one has a lot more tension, and it makes the whole mechanism more hair triggery. So it's like even if you just like nudge the model a little, it will go off. And like that's
so basically
cool.
You gave him a short temper. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Makuta, as far as we know, he has a short temper in Generation 2. So that makes sense, right?
It totally makes sense.
Character building. Bionicle Team cares. Speaking of building,
you can tell.
It still has a gear function in the shoulders.
Wow.
The staff
Nice.
is genius. Like just seeing it go with how you like turn the little like drill piece and then it goes the other way on the top. It's so cool. And I'm such a nerd that I think it's so cool.
That's okay, we're all nerds.
We
all love the little
I'm more of a nerd than you, okay?
I know.
I'm at the peak now that I've made the full transition to nerdhood by getting my glasses. So, we're there.
I mean, I have sunglasses, but not normal glasses.
I have both. I'm special.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? So do I. I'm always wearing both, because I have transition lenses. Boom!
Okay, you win.
Bifocal sunglasses.
Mine are just slightly tinted.
So the staff is genius, and I did have to modify it somehow to make it like fit in his hand better, so that it actually is like clipped in the hand rather than just kind of resting there in his fingers.
Yeah.
The hands leave something to be desired, but I think they're okay. I just don't like the flatness of the foot piece that they use for it. I don't know.
Are you planning to modify it?
Possibly. I might use some Savage Planet paws for it. Kind of like how I did on my Makuta mock, but I don't know. I think they're okay.
So now you have two different Makuta.
I did build the Mask Maker version.
So now you've got three Makuta.
No. That's two. For me. Okay. Although
he took apart
the two that are intact.
Okay.
Because I have to break down my
the
contest entry because I wanted to build it, and like, you know what, I'll clear off a space on the shelf for him, and I still have to figure out how he's gonna like just situate how he's gonna take that place, because he's there right now, but the staff is in his way. And I did adapt the version of the Mask of Ultimate Power that I made for my contest entry to this model, just as a placeholder, because I thought it would work. One thing of note, the knees. I don't know if it's just because I used the wrong, like, a pair of bad friction joints, but the knees are really weak, and he's very top heavy.
It could just be a problem because of his height.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think it's just because, like, the knees are very, very thin, and I think the overall the leg construction is very thin, and it's also very small.
Massive, you might want to bulk up the legs some.
I might,
so he
but
can
you know
support
what?
Himself.
Just looking at it, it's just so huge. I don't know how much I could do. Like, it barely fits on my shelf as is. But yeah. I think it's a great model. I applaud the designers with what they were able to do with what little they had. And I'm sad to see Bionicle go again in this way. But with this model alone, they went out with a bang.
Yeah, I actually quite like this ending for Bionicle. I like it better than going out with stars. I was looking at Umarak the Destroyer earlier today, and I just couldn't help thinking, wow, this is so much better than stars.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like...
This is how Bionicle was supposed to end.
It is
and
a
for
shame.
Just a moment, I saw
it is a shame that we're not
Umarak.
getting more Toa, and we're not getting more villagers or anything else. We're not getting an official Makuta set, but at least we're getting a combiner. At least Umarak the Destroyer, like I said before, he's okay. And after you mod him a bit, maybe he'll be better. But like as is, he's not a bad set. I'd say he's one of the better sets. Look, I call him Umagap for a reason, okay? Umagap.
I don't know, I'm very, very happy with him, and I'm astonished by the size.
I was happy with him too. It's just that I could fit my fingers through that cap. Like, I could fit it like brass knuckles.
Well, I'm currently feeling very forgiving toward Bionicle at the moment, so unfortunately I'm looking through Umarak tinted glasses.
Yeah, I getcha. Umarak the Hunter is really cool.
Also, in comparison to stars. I'm mentally comparing it to
they're
stars,
way better
and I'm
than
thinking,
stars.
Yeah, this...
Everything's better.
Actually, for just a minute, I could see Umarak as the Madanui robot. And I was wondering if they were going to have a mock set for the Madanui robot and the other robot for the final Makuta Madanui face-off.
They just need a parts bin. They really need to make one. I would buy it. I would buy like 5.
Yeah. They could do a collector's series.
How much shall I take it up?
$500 Madanui.
Take a dozen.
I'd buy it. I'd save up for 2 years and then buy it.
Depends on how much it would cost.
$500.
I would con each of my siblings into buying it.
I doubt they'd make it though, because now they're all like, "Hey, no more Constraction. Bye, peeps."
I'm so sad at that because honestly, Constractions was really good, and that's
it had heart.
That was honestly what drew me to Lego in the first place. That's my main Lego thing, Constraction.
It's a lot of people's main Lego thing, and that's just the part that confuses me the most. Like, as far as we know, like, Constraction's over, but they're losing a part of their market. Lego's losing a very significant part of their market. Maybe not as significant now because they've already seen that Constraction doesn't apparently do well anymore. I just think it was the brand, but I don't know. That's beside the point. I think that by taking away Constraction, they're losing a very significant part of their fan base, their market.
I'm not quite sure why they made that decision.
Exactly.
Because it makes very little sense to me. I know so many people who are so big onto Constractions. It's not like there isn't a market for Constraction. And
some people buy Constraction sets just to have the pieces.
I'm one of very few that blames corporate Lego for this decision.
I'm trying not to blame anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to cast blame.
I'm happy that I got what I got.
Yeah, I'm happy with it too, and I don't want to cast blame, but look, they said it was a very hard decision to get rid of this. I think it was a higher-up thing, where instead of providing all the money they could to the theme in the beginning, they decided to funnel it, so they could provide it to other things, which I don't think that's a problem. I think putting your eggs in more than one basket is fine, but not putting enough eggs to make the omelet in your basket is a very big problem.
Stuff is going to get broken.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of makes sense to me because, honestly, what I'm seeing here is, to go further on your egg analogy, what they did was they put, 3 eggs in the Constraction basket, and using Bionicle as an example, put, an egg in that, a single egg, and asked people to make a souffle.
Exactly.
And they did the best that they could with the ingredients that they had.
And then apparently that wasn't enough.
The greatest chef in the world
them.
couldn't make it perfect with what they were given.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
People are not happy with that.
Like, they didn't
and
give them
then for the reason they are not happy with it, then they shut it down.
Exactly.
Makes very little sense to me.
They are the reason that this failed. They're pretty much the reason, like, in this analogy, of course.
Yeah.
This is all hypothetical. Yes. I don't want people to think this is fact. But
no pointing fingers. You
exactly.
can't prove a thing.
Pretty much. But,
don't
like,
put it on us.
In this analogy, Lego is the one who essentially shot themselves in the foot here. They're the ones who caused this failure to happen. And perhaps they wanted this failure to happen. Because they didn't like the idea of Constraction in general.
It really was kind of failing to plan is planning to fail, or planning to fail is planning to fail.
Yeah, they planned it to fail. I mean, just think about it. Do you think they wanted to do a bunch of 90-second commercial story video things? Do you think anyone actually wants to do that? I mean, Transformers is doing something similar right now, where they're only having 5-minute episodes for this series that's based on a line, and everybody hates it because there's not enough time devoted to it to tell the story. And I'm like, hey, that sounds super duper familiar.
Yeah, it really is rather sad, because I'm wondering what would have... This will always be a hypothetical what-if scenario, but what if they had actually funded this? Exactly. Would they be canceling this line of Constraction at all? Would they have canceled any of this? Would they have canceled Bionicle again?
Would it have been bigger than it was? I
believe it would have been bigger.
I think so too. Okay,
look at it this way. If they had given it, instead of the 4-episode spread out 2 at a time Journey to One, what if they had gone with a full TV show like Ninjago?
Oh.
Do you think it would have been more popular?
That would have been so great.
It would have been so awesome, and I totally would have watched it, even though I probably would have criticized it the whole time. I would have loved it.
From that, they could have spun off into system sets, because some of the locations in Generation 2 are breathtaking. The Forge of the Mask Makers, the ancient city as a whole, the villages.
There's so much backstory. There's so much rich stuff that they had.
The Mask of Time itself.
And they basically didn't.
The Temple of Time, the Temple of Light.
The
bridge.
Temple of Light. The whole Mask of Time thing.
That
whole thing.
The whole thing.
I was like, where are they going to go with this? I'm really confused. Where are they going to go with that?
The ancient capital city.
Which is, interestingly enough,
Black
very
Crater.
much like the Hero Factory thing of We Build Heroes. Where are they going with that? It's actually sort of like those who don't know don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. That's Bionicle, that's Hero Factory, that's it right there. Yeah. They did the entire thing, and they did it the entire Constraction line.
They just didn't give it enough money. It's all budget.
But that's just my correct opinion.
Your correct opinion? I mean, that's actually what Faber was touching on with his Hero Factory blog post that he had to take down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
They didn't provide enough money to advertise it. That's why we only got that one episode that year. In its last year. Like, he said before that it was supposed to be longer. Like, it wasn't just supposed to end with mass genocide and everybody goes home scot-free.
And everybody died and everyone lived happily ever after.
Yeah, there was supposed to be more. There was supposed to be
and the book line didn't get to finish its storyline either.
Not only that, but it was supposed to connect with a book line.
A flavor.
It was supposed to be this whole
umami fullness in the mouth.
True. And they were written by Greg Farsi, by the way. And I've always wanted to read them, but I could never get them on iBooks.
Wait, which ones were you looking for?
The Hero Factory books were all written by the chapter books, the Secret Mission books.
Back when Hero Factory was around,
I've always wanted
fans always said that the books were the best part.
But
because basically after.
Yes, and Bionicle G2.
Hey,
okay, honestly,
aren't we saying the same thing about Bionicle? The books are the best part. Like,
the books are so awesome. I was actually reading them earlier and thinking, wow, this is how you write a book.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Constraction themes are always best told in a text format rather than a visual format.
That's interesting because I think that the larger figure than the minifigure makes more room for detail and makes the character.
But it's also significantly more expensive
unique.
to represent.
Makes a character very significantly different. Whereas in the smaller ones, it's more expensive to create, but also I think the reason that they make so many books and things off of the Constraction figures is because you can fit more personality into something that large.
Oh, yeah.
As it were.
Like, you can only get so many poses with a minifigure.
Yeah,
like, you can get them doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
You can express so much with a Constraction figure. I actually use Constraction figures all the time when I draw. I use them as models.
Oh, that's cool.
That is what I do. I will use different ones for different poses and different ones for different body types even. You can do a remarkable amount of stuff with them.
Like, I don't get the same satisfaction of posing a minifigure into a I don't know pose.
Seriously.
As much as I get a Constraction figure, or my self-mock especially for this example, into a like, hey, you're not going anywhere pose.
Yeah, pretty much. Look at it this way. If you see a monster minifigure holding his staff, it's never going to look with the same personality, the same vividness, the same life that you'll see if you see a Vakshi holding his staff staring at you.
And I want to echo this with the Makuta model, the Journey to One version. Like, it is imposing. It is scary. Like, when I just held it up after building it and kind of, like, had to shift my weight around, too, because it's really heavy. Like, I was like, wow. I want to see a
self-review with that.
Like, I at that point, I just wanted to take my self-mock and, like, pose it so he just, like, looks up at him and is like, oh, no. Oh, no. And I wanted to take a picture of it and send it to you guys, but I just never had that thought until now. But, like, that's the feeling that I got from just building that.
Well, that's the feeling you're supposed to get from those sets, and you'll never get that from a minifigure. Yeah.
But then
even one of those mega figures like Hulk or whatever.
Yeah, and then I look at other minifigures like the Overlord or Garmadon or Nauticon from Ninjago.
Yeah.
And they're all imposing.
In their own way, but I figured out a good way to phrase
the figures themselves, they don't carry the same weight, the same visual weight until you see their stories.
The thing with the minifigs is that they're toys and they're deliberately non-realistic. With the Constraction sets, specifically I'm talking about the non-human Constraction sets, and I think that this is actually why I don't like the human Constraction sets so much. They are alive.
Yeah, they convey so much more character.
And they're beyond the level of kids' toys. You can look at that and you see something more than plastic. It does not look like... okay, right now in front of me I have a Vakshi, so I'm very much biased here because I love this Vakshi so much.
Vakshi are pretty cool.
I have every single one except for brown and yellow. I do not have brown and yellow.
And it just blew me away.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so beautiful. It's Panrock.
I don't have the yellow, green, black, or white one. I have the brown, blue, red. And wow, we are terrible fans who don't know the names of these Rakshi.
I know the name of them. I think you have Gurak, Panrak, and Turak.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Thumbs up.
All
around.
I may not know the names of all of the Ninjago bad guys, but I know the names of the Rakshi, and I am happy. Because you can pose a Vakshi, and it will look like it's about to you.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite as imposing as Nicole looking like she's about to you.
I'll shove you down as...
Rack the Destroyer looking like he's about to, like, claw your eyes out or something.
Eat you.
Okay.
His mouth is always open. You know he's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
The skull villains were very imposing, even though they were kind of small.
Basically, I love it when a Lego set is able to scare you. If you look at a Lego set on your shelf, and you guys, oh, that's actually... There's something scary about that.
Like, it's not even just
I love it when that happens.
scary.
That's exactly what the Roshi does. It's something awe-inspiring.
You know, back in the Baraki days, that was the major complaint Lego got about Bionicle, that the Baraki were too scary. Yes. Yes, that was a major factor.
Really? Oh, was that because of Prydak? Because he had blood? But it was totally not blood?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen my brother's Prydak and Mantax videos?
Kinda.
Okay. I'm sorry. Basically, that I could never see them as scary after I saw that.
But Lego has rarely ever had a system set that shows so much character. To me, at least. I think the first one in recent memory. I think actually the first few in recent memory that come to mind. The Fortrex and Gestro's Evo Mobile.
I did not get either of those, so I'm unable to comment on that.
The Evo Mobile, like, it has like this big face on it that's just kind of imposing, and it has like a jaw that like can move, and
it's got a bit of a Two-Face aesthetic
as the wheels turn.
Evil Mobile is such a great name.
I mean, you know, like one half is red and one half is black.
Well, it's a jester.
Which Two-Face?
One of them. It's a jester. But the Fortrex more so. The Fortrex is just like, once I had it built, it was just like, wow, this is just, it's so cool to have, and it just shows like might. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, building character is cool.
Get it? Because building character, it's totally Lego.
Yeah.
Get it?
But I feel like with the loss and potential loss of Constraction, that Lego's losing that, I think.
That's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
Exactly. Like, now we have brickheads. And, like, sure, you're building the character, but, like...
Wongy.
There's so many different versions of the character, and I don't really see... Like, I don't get the whole... The Joker is crazy from the Joker one.
Yeah.
Or, like, the I'm Batman kind of thing from Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the same feelings as I do from...
like a
real minifigure.
Like the brickheads are just a bunch of square-headed thingamajigs that are cosplaying.
That character. They're garbage! Don't buy them!
Okay, actually, that's an interesting thing. Lego Movie versus Web of Shadows. Obviously, Lego Movie is a better movie as a movie, but if you look at the atmosphere, then it's actually a great example of the difference between the two brands, and each is playing to the strength of the other. Because with Web of Shadows, it's playing to the Hordika thing and expressing that in a way that you could simply not do with minifigures. Imagine that all as minifigures. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you can't get that sort of feel to it. You know?
That kind of, like, urgency that comes with it, you mean?
The urgency, the seriousness. Because the thing with the Lego sets, with the minifigs, every time you look at the little plastic round face, you think it's a toy, it's a game.
Yeah, you just think it's going to smile back
and
right back
and with a Construction, you think, it's a Mashi!
Yeah, it's unhinged.
Yeah. Or like Umrak the Destroyer is like, wow, he's got a pretty big jaw there.
Yeah.
Half of his teeth are gold and the other half are black.
Get a dentist.
Those are bad teeth. They should be white.
He does need a dentist.
Yeah.
His teeth are all misaligned.
I think it's really cool. The Mask of Control
the other half are just not there.
That's a cool design.
Well.
Sort of like the Inika, but we actually got to see the mask before it became organic, which gives it more it makes it cooler.
True.
They got it from Karzani's realm, as
Masks
replacements and
always
such, and
organic,
then
though?
they got hit by the lightning.
Yeah, and they were
weren't
organic
organic
then.
at that time, and
But they were
the reason that they got
crafted
were
off
organic versions of those original masks.
Yeah.
So in theory, then the masks that they originally got were similar to that, but
Yeah.
did not have the organic feel, and probably looked slightly different too.
Well, more you know.
So I'm very curious to see what the original
Which is what we got with Umarak. We got to see the Mask of Control in its base form before it turned into Umarak's face.
Especially the Sanok.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, real quick, to finish off my Makuta model, I did put on a little mask bandolier, and I put 3 masks on there, and it was really tough deciding which ones to put on there. I decided to put the corrupted Uniter Onua mask.
Yeah.
Because it did require Onua's parts to build that model, so I thought maybe not the original Uniter Onua one. How about the corrupted one to show that he has been defeated? And then I put on the, like, in the same kind of vein of thinking, the corrupted Tahu mask.
That's
the Uniter one.
interesting.
And then the third one, the Umarak mask that came with the Kimu the Mask Maker.
Yeah, and killed him.
Because he corrupted Umarak. Makes sense. And he killed him.
Actually, there's a very lengthy theory about
Kimu might be
alternate
evil. I mean, he
universes,
did
Kimu
let
being evil, and
he the
ultimately
only reason he
remembering
took the
every
light
timeline.
energy was to give it to Umarak to give it to Makuta, so that Makuta could try to come out. Everyone.
Akimu is basically... Akimu is the source of everyone's problems.
If he didn't use...
Like, if he didn't hit that mask off of his face, then...
If he didn't use the Mask of Creation to be a better mask maker, his brother wouldn't have been so jealous. He's literally wearing the mask of good at building things. The mask of good at building things.
Yeah, everything's his fault.
No.
Akimu is the bad guy in retrospect.
Have we ever actually
He had a blimp.
Akimu use
He had the Goodyear blimp.
I mean, he makes stuff.
I imagine him putting on his mask and saying, "I am a master builder." I'm just saying.
Do we need any cheese slopes? How about macaroni curves? No?
No.
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 Akimu was neither a good guy nor a bad guy. He was literally just Destiny's advocate.
I think that's a good place to wrap up. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
He was. Yeah. I think this is a good place to wrap up.
I think that's a good place to stop.
We'll do
the same thing we said last time and the last time.
Yeah, we'll do the game next time. I had a parts pile planned, but it'll wait. It's been in the...
We will get to it.
I've been waiting for this since the Bionicle is over episode.
Well, does that mean next podcast you're going to do the game?
Yes.
So
whenever
we're just
I
saving
can.
up your game?
Look, I'll do the game whenever I can.
Please do.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, and
the email.
in the future we will also probably do the...
Yeah, I like the email part.
Email,
do it for me.
But I'm sorry we haven't been getting around to this. But please send us emails.
Yes. Send us emails at bioniclecomedicentral@gmail.com. Send us about 3 questions. Leave your username so we know who you are.
Yes. There's been...
So yeah. I think that wraps it up pretty well.
The best part about this discussion, it was based off no new news.
I enjoyed it myself.
Waha.
So
we did it.
For
yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Take us away, Ford.
All right. For Klenda, Mace, and me, Ford.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next podcast.